have to talk to your doctor first or your medical professional before trying to do any of these things post-surgery. So this is the first drill that I did for post-surgery standing, is trying to lift my knee. So what I'm doing is I'm pushing into the floor with my left leg, and that's never been addressed in therapy. So in therapy they just say lift your leg, try and lift your leg, but I'm going to use isometrics. And then I'll slowly parachute it back. And when I parachute this leg back with control, I actually am pulling and using my calves to keep control through it all. And I would do 10 of these. So abduct away from the body and keep my left hip pretty stationary. And the same thing, isometric control, pushing down into the cane or whatever you're using for support. And I'm pretty limited here. So I'm lifting, flexion, and it's a bit painful, and I'm not irradiating more than about 30%. I'll do that 10 times. And I'm pushing into the floor with my left leg as I draw my right knee back, and it is so swollen here, I can feel it instantly. So I have to be really careful. I think you should be careful. So I'm going to push into the floor, draw my knee back, try to stay as straight as I can, and really concentrate on the crest of my hip as I pull my heel upwards. And that one's a barn burner, and I'll do that 10 times. Yeah, this one's really tough. Trying to bring my heel towards me. I am pushing into the floor. It makes a big difference. Trying to keep this stationary. And that's it. As soon as my hip starts to move, I'm just going to try and hold it there for a couple seconds. And then come back in. And then the internal. This is where you got to be careful. So I go into as far extension as comfortable. Pull my heel in. So those are all the motions that I practice at about 30% irradiation. I tighten up through the belly, take a breath in, push on the supporting foot, and then I try to put them all together. So I'm gonna mentally concentrating on pulling my hip in, and then once I lock it in, kind of pressing it back out into all the articulating movements. Right? So I'm gonna start with some flexion. Some external rotation. And some internal rotation. And some extension. And then come back in and then reverse. And I would do that 10 times. And then that'd be the day for like specifically moving my hip through what a hip is supposed to do. Just to try. So there's extension. Internal rotation with abduction. I can. So try not to bow my back out too much, but there's only so much I can do right now. There's the flexion. So I would do that 10 times. I'd also do the other exercise that I did on my right leg, or do it on my left leg, and, just keeping as much weight off of this leg as possible. This is me 5 days after surgery. I'm pretty happy with that. I haven't tried any type of squatting. This would be the first. And that is just so swollen. So I will do, your level 1 physio type exercises. I do a lot of glute squeezing, where I lay on the floor, I lay in the bed, and I'll show you that in another video. Peace and love, strength and honor, and thank you for following my journey using the functional range systems to heal my hip replacement. 12 months from now, you shall see the magic. Pow!